So why is this myth that dreams have to be big? Why is it so damaging? Well, when we believe that dreams must be big to matter, we dismiss the dreams that are already within our reach. We tell ourselves, we'll only be living our dream life once we've done something monumental, instead of seeing all the opportunities to live our dreams every day. You're never too busy, too tired, too old, or too anything to pursue your dreams. Welcome to the Distracted Dreamer podcast, where you'll learn how to move all those never-ending distractions aside and chase your dreams with confidence. Hey there, welcome to the first episode of the Distracted Dreamer podcast. I am Carlene, and I am your host. And boy, do I have an episode for you today. No matter where you are when it comes to pursuing your dreams, you'll get so much clarity from this episode. First, I want to give you a big high five for being here. Showing up for yourself in your dreams, it is so important, and you're going to learn why in a few minutes. Second, if you know anyone who is struggling, stressed and anxious, frustrated with themselves, or who could benefit in any way from what we cover here on the Distracted Dreamer podcast, please, please, please share this episode with them. They will thank you. And last, this podcast, it isn't just any podcast. My goal is to give you short, quick listen episodes. And I'm also going to give you free tools and resources for you to use to help you take those next steps on your dreams. And the link to the first resource is waiting for you in the show notes. It's a 2-minute quiz called What's Your Dream Personality Type? So you'll learn what dream personality type you are and the 3 simple steps to leverage your strengths so that you can tap into your potential and breathe some life back into your dreams. Alrighty, now, even if you don't have everything figured out when it comes to your dreams, what we're talking about today will absolutely give you a complete reframe about what dreams are, how to spot them, and why they're so dang important to spend time on every single day. For me, dreams are kind of a new thing. Let me explain. Until recently, say the last 5 years or so, I never even used the word dream. That is, except to tell someone about a dream I had when I was sleeping. And that's not the kind of dream that we're talking about here. So when I talked about things that I wanted or that interested me, I'd use the word want. Now, stay here with me. I have a point. You see, I never used the word dream. I'd say, hey, I want to write a book, which is fine. But instead, when I say, I dream of writing a book, do you hear how that sounds different? I want to write a book. I dream of writing a book. So try this out with something you want and dream. Say, I want to go to Italy. Then say, I dream of going to Italy. See, it feels different when you use different language. And the language that we use is so critical to how our brain indexes what's important to us. And when we don't call our dreams out for what they are, our dreams, they get buried. And that's why I hear so many of you tell me, you don't have any dreams. But I promise, you do. So the first lesson here is, if you know what your dreams are, then use that language. Say, my dream is to plant a vegetable garden, or my dream is to run a marathon, or my dream is to go to Italy. But before you can use the dream language, you first have to believe that having dreams is important. And I know a lot of people don't believe that. But I can tell you, I am so guilty of this too, making all the excuses about dreams. Here we go. I don't have time for dreams. Dreams are for people who are famous and have money. I don't need dreams. I should just be grateful for what I have. We're constantly arguing against our dreams. And when we do, we are missing out on so much. I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why your dreams are critical to your life and your overall well-being. And yes, there is research to back all this up, And I'm not going to blather on in great detail about the research, but it's important to highlight it for you so you know the positive impact of dreaming your dreams is actually valid, because it really is valid. The first reason that dreaming is so beneficial to us is when we work on our dreams, we get a big boost of happiness. We get a nice hit of dopamine every time we make progress on our dreams. Every step we take, no matter how small it is, it really helps us feel a sense of accomplishment. And this taps into what psychologists call the progress principle. And that is the idea that our happiness is deeply tied to making progress on meaningful work. And the research shows that making regular progress in those small but meaningful ways, it's one of the most important factors in boosting our mood and our overall life satisfaction, otherwise known as happiness. It's not enough to just make progress on our dreams, because the acknowledging and the celebrating that progress, it's just as important. We have to celebrate the progress. A study was done by Harvard Business School professor Teresa Amabile, and it revealed how tracking even your tiny wins each day leads to increased feelings of happiness and motivation. This means that carving out time to focus on your small dreams, like learning a new skill or tending to a garden, it can profoundly impact our happiness on a daily basis. How cool is that? All you have to do is something that you love to be happy. Oh, imagine that. The second reason why focusing on our dreams is so important, even spending 15 minutes on a dream each day, it also promotes better mental health. This is so critical. And we need to find ways to stay healthy and happy. So dreams give us something to look forward to. Dreams are a source of hope and creativity. And when we take those daily steps towards those dreams, we give ourselves permission to step out of the stress and the routine of everyday life and into something that we love. Psychologists have actually done studies that have shown that dedicating time to activities that align with our goals or dreams, however small, can reduce stress and anxiety. In 2020, there was a study published in Psychology Today that found that even short bursts of creativity or working on dream projects can significantly reduce cortisol levels, that stress hormone, and it promotes a sense of calm and mindfulness. So the first big benefit to paying attention to your dreams is it promotes overall happiness. And second, it's good for our mental health. And third, it strengthens our relationships. So when we prioritize our dreams, even in these small increments that I'm talking about, we often find that it enhances our relationships. Why? Well, because working on our dreams increases our sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, which in turn makes us more engaged, present, and joyful around each other. So when we're doing things that we love, we have good energy. Have you ever went up and talked to somebody and they just have bad, negative energy? That doesn't feel good to anybody. But when you're working on your dreams, you have this positive energy, and that's what you show up with. Dr. Sonia Lubomirsky, she's a positive psychology researcher. She noted in her book, The How of Happiness, that when people take the time to pursue their interests and their personal projects, as she calls them, they often experience improved relationships. They're more energized and less likely to bring the stresses of the day into their relationships. It could be working on a puzzle or planting a new tree. And these things cultivate that positive energy that naturally flows into our relationships. And that creates more positive connections. There you have it. Dreaming your dreams and working on your dreams, they are critical to your overall well-being. First, dreams gives us a boost of happiness. They also have a positive impact on our mental health, helping to reduce the stress and anxiety that we all seem to be living with right now. And last, they strengthen our relationships as a result of the positive energy that we show up with. All you have to do is give yourself permission to dream. You have nothing to lose. But here's the rub. there's one more thing standing in our way. And it's the myth that dreams have to be grand, life-changing, larger than life to count. We often think of dreams in the context of becoming famous or achieving a monumental goal. And yeah, dreams can be big, but they don't have to be. And many of the dreams that we carry, they're much smaller and more personal. And yet, they're no less important. Let me break it down for you with a few examples and see what ideas or dreams pop into your head as you listen. Here's some example of big dreams that I'm sure we can all come up with really quick here, like starting a successful business or traveling the world, publishing a best-selling novel, winning an Olympic gold medal, building a dream home. These are all big dreams. We see them in movies or we hear people talk about them when they're describing the pinnacle of success. And they're exciting and can be incredibly motivating. But here's the thing. Our day-to-day lives are often shaped more by the smaller dreams we hold. And many of those smaller dreams don't get the attention that they deserve. Small dreams. Let's give some examples of small dreams. Learning to play an instrument. I know how to play the piano, but I really, really want to get back to playing the piano. Reading a book series. I love to read. Another dream of mine. I've been doing a lot better with it, and it does feel really good to start my day just reading something that I enjoy for 15 minutes. Decorating a room in your house. Traveling to a nearby city. You don't have to travel the world. You can travel to a nearby city. You could create a family photo album. You could complete a puzzle. You could take a scenic hike. Plant a tree. Start a DIY home project. There's so many dreams out there, and they don't have to be huge to have a huge impact on your life. One of my smaller dreams is to create a beautiful, organized closet. We moved to Tennessee in February, and I'm still living out of plastic tubs. My husband and I went from having our own walk-in closets in Illinois to sharing one here. And every time I walk in my closet, I cringe. No matter how many times I pick things up to create some order, the chaos of it stresses me out. I dream of walking in my closet, excited to get ready for the day, being able to find what I'm looking for. You see, it's a small dream, but with a huge positive impact on my mental health. So that's the example that I have to share with you, and I'm sure that you have one that you're thinking of for yourself. But here's the thing. The smaller dreams, they get pushed to the side because they're not seen as big enough or important enough. So here's the reframe for you. These dreams, they are important. They are the dreams that shape the texture of our lives. The joy you feel from finishing a puzzle or the satisfaction of planting a tree in your backyard, they can be just as fulfilling as reaching a major life goal. So why is this myth so damaging? When we believe that dreams have to be big to matter, we dismiss dreams that are already within our reach. We tell ourselves, we'll only be living our dream life once we've done something monumental, instead of seeing all the opportunities to live our dreams every day. All those opportunities, you ask? Where are they? I'm going to tell you 3 ways to unlock the dreams that live in your heart, and I promise you they are there. The first one is right under your mouse. Your dreams could be hiding on your to-do list. What? Yes, it is possible. Think about some of the things on your to-do list or goals that you've set for yourself. They might feel like simple tasks or hobbies, but these are dreams too. Whether it's learning to cook a new dish or reading that book that you've been meaning to dive into, these smaller dreams create moments of meaning and growth in your life. And when you pay attention to those things that you keep rewriting on your to-do list, like learning to play pickleball or taking a class on how to make sourdough bread, but you never prioritize it, so you just keep moving it to your next day or your next week or your next month's to-do list, that's a sign that those are your dreams. Now, I know there's a lot of other things that we move forward on our to-do list because we don't want to do them, but we should do them. You might have things on your to-do list like organizing your bookshelf by genre or color. Yeah, that's visually pleasing, but it's not essential for day-to-day life, which is why you never really get to it. Those shoulds, those aren't your dreams. So just take note of what you're putting off, and you might just uncover a dream. Now, the second place you can find your dreams is from your life experiences. Let me give you an example. I have a dream that's about 27 years old. I know that's really specific, and that's because it is when my oldest daughter was born. It was a Sunday afternoon in January. I was 6.5 weeks away from my due date. And my husband and I, we were sitting in our family room watching the Bulls game when my water broke. We drove through the snowstorm to the hospital because, of course, it has to be a snowstorm. I go into labor. But I wasn't worried. I was so naive. I thought, oh, they'll just give me that pill to stop the labor and it'll all be okay. But boy, was I wrong. By the time we got there, I was already at 6 centimeters, and there was nothing they could do except deliver the baby. Still, I was surprisingly calm, and within a few hours, our sweet Emily came into this world, but without a peep. And the silence was terrifying. And after an excruciating few minutes that felt like forever, I finally heard her cry. I didn't get to hold her. Instead, I got a 2-second look at her before they swiftly took her to the neonatal unit. After about 5 hours, my husband wheeled me down to the NICU, and we saw our beautiful baby girl. And gosh, I wish someone would have prepared us for what we were going to see. She was hooked up to a vent to help her breathe, and countless other tubes and wires attached. I still get choked up about this 27 years later. It's just amazing. So I went home a day later without my baby. And between my hormones being all out of whack and the postpartum depression setting in, I was having one heck of a pity party. And the next weekend, I went to the surprise baby shower that my sister was so sweet to plan. And I was no longer pregnant, and I didn't have my baby with me. And that made me so sad. And the days of my maternity leave were passing by without my baby being at home with me. So I spent my nights calling into the NICU to get updates, and I spent my days sitting in the NICU on a cold 3-legged stool, watching Emily's chest rise and fall with every breath. Finally, after days, a nurse asked if I wanted to hold her, and it is just what we both needed. I finally got to hold my baby. And the nurse taught me about the kangaroo method. And that's a technique used to care for preemies or low birth weight babies by placing them skin to skin on your chest. And I sat in a rocking chair holding her to my chest for hours every day until she came home. Like they had to kick me out of that NICU unit. And so I'm just going to tell you what the kangaroo method does, because it's important to my dream that I'm going to share with you. So the kangaroo method, it actually helps regulate the baby's temperature. And it helps regulate their breathing and their heart rate, and it reduces stress for the baby and promotes faster weight gain. It also improves the baby's immune system and so many other things. And because of that, it reduces the time in the hospital. So Emily came home after a couple of weeks where I continued to do the kangaroo method with her. And it was during those quiet moments with her, I thought about how the NICU nurses don't have time to kangaroo. They are so busy working their tails off, trying to do everything that they have to do. They just don't have the time to kangaroo the babies. And I thought about all those other babies in the NICU who weren't getting to benefit from the kangaroo method because their moms were still recovering from a traumatic delivery or something even worse. Maybe they didn't make it through the delivery, or maybe emotionally and mentally they weren't prepared to deal with a sick baby. Whatever the reason is, these babies weren't getting something that would really help them. And then I remember those grandparents that I met in the NICU that were doing the kangaroo method with babies. And until I asked them, I had assumed that they were the baby's grandparents, but they weren't. They were volunteers. So after I knew Emily was out of the woods and was going to be fine, I decided right then and there that when I retire, I was going to volunteer in the NICU to kangaroo babies. 27 years later, Emily is all grown up and living her best life, and I'm still dreaming that dream of volunteering in the NICU. Now that we're settled in our new home in Tennessee, the time to breathe life into this dream, I know it's right around the corner. So what experiences have you had that revealed a dream to you. Think about things that you've done that light you up. Think about when things didn't go as planned. What did you do to handle it? What dream is that experience showing you? I guarantee there's something buried under one or many of your experiences in your life. If you take some time to reflect, it will reveal itself. The third place that you can uncover your dreams, this one's kind of fun, is to think about those people you envy or maybe you're even jealous of. If you care enough about what someone else is doing to feel envious or jealous, that thing that they're doing just might be your dream. So instead of being jealous and telling yourself how lucky they are, or that you'll never be as good as they are, or that you can't do that thing because it's already been done, turn those feelings of envy and jealousy into inspiration. Here's what I mean. Ask yourself, what can I learn from them? Maybe you can reach out and talk to them about it, or you can research what you can find about their journey. People love to talk about themselves, and they love to help. So don't be too shy to ask. Has anyone that you envy or that you're jealous of come to mind? What's that thing they're doing? Is it possibly your dream too? If so, turn that jealousy into inspiration. And I always like to remind people, you don't need to learn everything to start. Learn enough from them to take the first step, and then start. Let's break down everything that we talked about today into some simple steps that you can take on your dreams this week. First, look at the things that you keep putting off and rewriting on your to-do list. Those could possibly be a dream. Next, reflect on your life's experiences. They can be big moments, small moments, doesn't matter. When you look closer, you may uncover a dream. Last, look at people you envy and that you're jealous of. They could be living your dreams. Now, once you've discovered a dream or two, I challenge you to share your dreams with family and friends. And this is where your dreams become reality, when they come out of you, when you get them out of your head, when you speak to people about them, when you know people are going to ask you about them. This is the first breath of air that you put into your dreams. Try to use the dream language when you do. Don't say, I want. Say, my dream is to go to Italy. My dream is to learn how to play the piano. And remember, the idea here isn't to get approval for your dreams, but to share your excitement. So consider who you share with wisely. Finally, don't forget to go to the link in the show notes below to take that 2-minute quiz that I told you about. The name of the quiz is called What's Your Dream Personality Type? This quiz is going to show that no matter where you are in life, you do have the potential to pursue your dreams. And this quiz is going to give you great clarity on what your next step is. Remember, dreamers, your dreams matter. They are waiting for you. Until next time, bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This is the legal language. You know, the stuff that the lawyers put together, and they say that I need to read this to you. So here we go. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals. Got it? Good. I will see you in the next episode.